Here we have the web ad that we created a few movies ago, and I'll just preview it quickly here. You can see it where we're highlighting breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then back to the beginning again. We've got it completed. We've got it exactly the way we want it. Now it's time to use it on the web, so we can export it. And we'll go File, Export, and this is something that InDesign has improved. The export just works a lot better now. So we can choose our format here. These features won't work in PDF Interactive that we've been using, so we need to export it in one of two formats. If you're going to import it into Flash and do further editing or incorporate it into another project, obviously you would export it as Flash. And the nice thing about that now is it will maintain the text in an editable format. Didn't used to do that, but it does that now. So if you are using Flash, you can export it in the Flash format. The moment we're going to export it in SWF or Flash Player. And here we'll call it Pepper's Web Ad Final. We'll just call it that. If I were putting it on the web, I wouldn't give it this name. I wouldn't put spaces in it. In fact, I should just do good practices there and get rid of the spaces for this. Put an underscore rather than that and keep it all lowercase. It will work even with the spaces, but it's not really a good idea. Just use lowercase and put underscore or dash between the words. And I've got this folder just off my desktop specifically for it, and I will save it. We go into the export box, and you could export a selection. I don't have a selection here, so it's going to export everything. There is only one page, so I don't have a choice of pages, but it can export multiple pages at the same time. And you can generate an HTML file in which to view this SWF. You can turn that on. You can't view the SWF without a HTML file, so I've got to turn that on. You could generate the HTML file but not view it afterwards, but we'll view it this time. Because I designed it at exactly the size I wanted it, I don't need to do any scaling here. You can scale it up here or just type in a percentage. Background, you can have it transparent or keep the paper color, which is white in this case. Interactivity and media, we want to include all. We don't just want an appearance, we want all the interactivity. And we don't have page transitions. These are things we looked at in the interactive PDF. You can't put them in SWF files. And page curl, we didn't put that in here. It's one of these options for when you change from one document, one page to another. Advanced frame rate, that's the animation frame rate. 24 is pretty standard. Text could be converted to outlines or converted to pixels or Flash classic text. It's going to look a lot better if you just keep classic Flash text. Probably don't want to rasterize pages unless you're having trouble with it. Then you may do that to see if it works that way. If some of your transparencies are causing problems, you might want to flatten them. It's best to try it without these options first. Compression, JPEG standard compression here, and I would just put it at medium here for web. The PPI, 72 is fine for web use. You really don't need 300 PPI because it just gets lost on a screen. So we're ready to go. All our options are selected. Clicking OK. It opens the browser, and there we have the ad to go at the side of the page. And it's all done. Now if we go out to our desktop here, I'll just minimize everything. I have the Pepper's ad folder, and in it you can see it's got the HTML file and the SWF, and it's got some other resources like the sound file that I put in it, the swoosh, so it's linking to that. So this folder must always stay relative to your SWF file. You can put it in a different HTML file, but this must stay relative or the sound would not work. Any other resources, if you had a movie or something like that, whatever folder it's in, it must stay in the same place. So that's ready for you to open Dreamweaver or whatever you use and put that file in an HTML page.